So how was that navigating being a nursing aide during COVID?
Oh, absolutely insane. Yeah, a good majority of nurses don't leave after 12. They're there 13, 14, however many hours, catching up on the charting or things that...
Real quick, is the Narnia Harry Potter
the conspiracy
theory true? And I
Yeah.
understood what they were saying. It just took me a couple seconds. You're almost like
You're
translating.
You're buffering in there, and like the three little dot thing.
That's what he said.
Like the message bubble, like it's just in your mind, just going. Boop, boop, boop. All right.
Grace, welcome to the Jake Koutas Show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you've had some, I'm sure, pretty crazy experiences. So we're going to talk about them. Of being so you were a nurse practitioner, is what it was?
No, nursing aide.
Nursing aide, and now you're a nurse.
Now
So
I'm a
you were a
nurse.
nursing aide during COVID.
Yeah.
So how was that navigating being a nursing aide during COVID?
Oh, absolutely insane. Like no map, just straight running around. Yeah, when it first happened, it was kind of weird. Like no one knew what was going on.
Yeah. So what was were you watching it as COVID was kind of coming out? Because I was.
I was.
Because I saw the first couple cases online, and they were like this COVID thing, I don't know what's going on. And then I was like, it's at like 100 cases. And early on, I was like looking at it, and I was like,
It was weird. We were seeing all these cases, and we were seeing like all these things like across the ocean, basically. But like nothing or any word of anything happening here. But then you like saw the reports of all these weird illnesses, and then we had these patients that would come in and testing negative for everything, but had these horrible like symptoms and just crashing so fast, and like just not doing well, nothing's touching them, and it would just go really south really fast. Especially, so I worked on, I was still working on a surgical unit, so I was on a surgical unit, and so they come out of surgery, or they're going to surgery, or they're planning to do surgery. So they're not in the best shape in general.
what kind of surgeries?
Oh my gosh.
Because I feel like some surgeries could be like ankle surgeries or knee surgeries.
Oh yeah.
What kind
so
of?
like we could get ortho surgeries, like any like
broken bones
broken
kind
bones,
of stuff?
but because it was Lutheran General, so big trauma hospital, big stroke hospital.
Okay.
So we got a lot of car accidents. We got a lot of vascular surgeries where they're trying to unclot a leg. We got like broken bones and hips where you have like cages around them to like keep their bones intact. Anywhere, and then a huge one that we were specialized in is called colorectal surgery. So like the ostomy bags, reworking your bowels and stuff like that to like make you function better, basically. So kind of everything. We could honestly get anything and everything.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And then it was a really interesting time. But basically it was all happening, and I remember distinctly, like this was back when I was on nights at first, because I switched to days during COVID too. So that was also different. But when it all started, I was on nights, and we weren't masking yet. But all of us wanted to mask. Like we were like, I feel weird about this. Like this is weird.
So you guys knew about it beforehand, and you wanted to throw the masks on.
Kind of.
That's
like, or like
interesting.
not like we didn't know it was COVID or what it was,
Right.
but we heard all these reporting. We heard all this stuff that was happening overseas. Heard about COVID eventually, and we were like, they say it's not here yet, but all these symptoms, nothing's tracking.
Yeah.
And we know it's something respiratory, so we're like, I want to protect myself. So, and it was just like the regular masks. It wasn't like N95s yet or anything.
Yeah.
And so like we started masking, and then like it was like weird. Like they were like giving us a hard time for wearing masks. They're like, oh, you're gonna cause panic when there's no reason to panic. You're gonna cause like questions. But we were like, but we want to protect ourselves.
You're like, we're just doing this just to be safe. You never know.
Just to be safe to ourselves, to our families.
And the amount of people that you see in a hospital that could or could not be sick, you have no idea.
Yeah. So then when it then really started coming out that like, oh, no, COVID is here, country shutting down, all that craziness that happened. Was that March?
March, yeah.
It went like it. I have never. The hospital's always chaotic, but the chaos in that first couple months, and just in those 3 years, it was just so palpable, and the tension and the just like the strain and the burnout was just crazy even in the beginning. Our unit had a interesting perspective because like we at first were treating like we had COVID patients and stuff, but then when it really started coming out, they wanted to limit the risk for people who come in clean, testing negative. But the need for beds for COVID patients were such a high rate. So they broke it down to 2 units were clean units. And at this time they were doubling every bed that they could in the hospital. So we went from a 24, 25 bed unit to 40, 46, 48 with the same staff.
Wow.
So, I mean, eventually they got a lot of travelers. They hired more people, but it was rough. I went from, like the normal ratio for nurses was 3 to 4.
Okay. Per nurse.
And then for techs, like nursing aides, it was 6 to 8. I think multiple times I had the whole unit by myself, so all 40-something patients.
40 to 1.
Oh, God. It was, oh, my God. It was insane. and most of the time, majority of the time, we had at least 12 patients.
Yeah.
12 to, like, 14. And nurses had, like, barely ever had 4, usually 5. And on night shift, they had, like, 6, sometimes 7 patients. Totally crazy and unsafe, but you do what you got to do. You got to roll up your sleeves and just like
got to get to work,
grind and do it, right? Yeah. So then they decided to make, because we were a surgical unit, they decided to make us clean.
Okay.
Which everyone had to float still to like COVID units every once in a while. They would take people from the COVID units and they would bring them to the clean units to give them a break of COVID patients to kind of like lessen the burnout, take care of the nurses a little bit, take care of the techs and stuff. And then we would be floated. And also they tried to protect those who were pregnant. So like people, like if there were nursing aides that were pregnant, they would try and bring them to the clean floors and then float like one of us, obviously like who wasn't pregnant, to go to the COVID floors to like kind of, keep them safe, especially in the beginning when we didn't have a vaccine and we didn't know. And we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know if it could affect people, and like because there's certain diseases and things that people have that pregnant women can't actually take care of. Like there's one that's called C. diff that I'm pretty sure everyone kind of knows about. C. difficile. It's like it's a super infection, and you don't take care of those patients if you're pregnant because of the antibiotics that they get and all these other sort of things. So that we didn't know if this was like that, if this would cause, issues. So they made us a clean unit, which at times I was like thankful for, but then other times it was a different type of chaos because we were the only unit that could have the clean patients. So if we didn't have a bed for a clean patient, they were sitting in the ED with all the COVID patients, or they went to a COVID floor. And then we would also have the instances where they tested clean, like negative at first, and then they'd come to the unit and in a double room with a patient because everyone was doubled, and then they would test positive for COVID. So then they started testing people for COVID like every, I don't remember the exact what it was, but I don't know if it was 48 hours or what it was, but it was like, or
I remember
maybe
being
it was
like
5
a day
days or
something.
It was something weird that there was like a precedent that they would test everybody for COVID like every several days to make sure that these people that were in rooms together weren't making each other sick. And then they locked down the entire hospital, which was the craziest part. So not only was I a nursing aide, I was also a unit secretary at the time, and so in charge of like patient care and stuff. Then I also was working with the charge nurse and the managers to admit and discharge and make sure the unit is stocked and figure out like every IT equipment, all these other problems and anything that had to be pushed off to me, which was fine. And one of the huge things in COVID was the visitor policies.
Yeah, that was a really, really big thing back in the day.
It was so odd. Like I've worked night shifts, so I've seen like at night where there's no visitors and no one around.
Yeah.
But during the daylight and there's no one but like hospital workers, it was the weirdest. It was somewhat
like no visitors,
somewhat a blessing because then you can just do your work. But but it was so weird because it was so eerie and quiet. And then they started, and they used to just do like like code blues, like, you know, like, oh, like someone's coding, like get the code team overhead. But then they started doing
code blue, meaning like
they're like they're dead, we're doing CPR, like we're bringing them back to life. Yeah,
gotcha. Because code blue in like engineering world, usually like bluebirding or code blue means leaked information.
Yeah,
so totally different.
Totally different. Yeah, but no. So or they were, and then there was these other announcements that they would do, that there's things called rapid responses where someone's crashing, but they're not unresponsive, like no heartbeat yet.
Yeah.
So they called it rapid responses. That's for people who, you know, their blood pressure is tanking. They, you know, they knocked out unresponsive, but they have a pulse and they're breathing.
Yeah.
That's when you call it rapid response. They never used to overhead those until COVID. And so then they were overheading rapid responses, codes. They were they did a special alert called anesthesia code or anesthesia alert or whatever, where like that means that the respiratory therapists and an anesthesiologist would have to run to whatever they said. That basically meant that they were immediately intubating somebody. Someone's like dying right now. We need to get a tube in them so they can breathe, because that was one of the major things that would happen with these COVID patients, is that they stopped breathing, and, you know, we had to intubate and stuff like that. So they started calling everything overhead. So the hospital's dead quiet except for the hustle and bustle of like just the floors. And then you're constantly hearing code team to floor 7, room 32 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
and
like just code calls and everything.
Constantly and constantly. And we started counting at times. We were like, okay, that's 3 in the last like 10 minutes. That's this, that's that. And then like the way that the floor is set up, then you just like see the morgue cart, like just like multiple times a day, sometimes from our unit, sometimes from other units. And it was just, I had worked there over a year at this point. Back then I was already working there a year, and I didn't see the morgue cart until COVID. I didn't hear so many codes and stuff until COVID, or be in so many codes.
It's like a lot louder in the environment, visitors, and it's just it's more things going on.
There's so much more going on that you can't pay attention to it because you just have to do your stuff. But when there's nothing going on in the hospital, like there's no loud voices or people passing, and it's just healthcare workers, it's loud. It echoes off the walls. So I think that was like one of the hardest things that I was like thinking about when I was there, is I was just like, how many people are making it through these codes? Like how many families are saying goodbye? Like how many people won't actually...
At that time, they couldn't even say goodbye.
Exactly.
Which was the craziest part, because there's no visitors.
Exactly. No visitors. And being the secretary, like we were in charge of all the phone calls coming into the unit. So every single patient's family member trying to get information, trying to be like, well, why isn't there any visitor policies? Like, well, all this other stuff. And then when they opened up visitors the first time before that second wave hit, they made it like a 2 visitor policy, and the patient had to sign up what visitors they were, and it could only be those visitors. And we had a list, and if people would come up to the desk, and we'd be like, you're not on the list, you can't see your family, you have to leave the hospital.
Crazy.
Oh my God. It was, and then of course, like, because they're frustrated, which I never took it too much to heart, but it was a lot for them to just like then sit there and yell at you and be like, what the hell? And then like, then multiple times us having to call public safety to escort them out when all they're trying to do is see their family in the hospital. It was not a great time. But yeah, it was insane. And then the fallout of it, I think the second wave for me, I think that was the worst.
So was that all during the first wave that you discussed? Mm-hmm. Okay. And
then the second wave hit, and then everything happened again, but it was worse. The death toll was bigger, and it was just, it all happened within like the first 6 months of COVID, the 2 like waves. So like no one really knew what was still happening yet.
Yeah, because I remember it being in like March. It was a lot of like the very, very beginning was like super like, don't go outside, don't do anything, and the scaring was like huge. But then like the infections were actually not as bad as compared to what they were in the second wave. But then it was like the second wave, by the time I hit the second wave, everyone was like, it's not that bad. What are you talking about? And then the fear went down, but the actual like infections were like through the roof.
Skyrocketing.
It, like basically just bipolar flipped. Yeah. And like, so how was that with the second wave?
It was very freaking frustrating because the media was like so two-sided, and just everybody being like, it's not that big of a deal, while like, you know, you have all those nurses that were dying in New York in the ICU because they contracted COVID before there was any treatment, and then they ended up in the actual ICU that they worked on, like stuff like that. People's family members, you're seeing them having to say goodbye over the phone.
That was the craziest one to me.
It's just like
that one was the one where I was like, just let them accept the risk and go see their family members.
Yeah. It finally got to the point, I think it was, I want to say it was in the second wave, if I remember correctly, where they were allowing a shortened list of visitors if they were dying. Like if they were actively dying, they would allow someone to come in. And a lot of the time it was in the ICUs.
Because I would never be able to forgive any hospital. If I was not able to visit my loved one that was passing away, I would just be like, I would hear that name, and every single time I would curse that hospital out.
Oh, absolutely. It broke my heart. Like the pleading on the other end of the phone. I remember one specific patient there. They had their grandma and their mom or something as their visitors, but not their dad. And they were a young patient too. Like I think they were in like their 20s or something. Like they were young, and the dad was like crying on the phone because he wanted to come see his child, and like I'm like, I
physically
can't do anything. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like I know this is frustrating. I can't even begin to understand what you're going through. I can't even fathom what I would do in your position. I'd probably be swearing like a sailor and beating down the damn door because I'm my mother's daughter. But no, like I think those conversations I think were the hardest personally for me. As you know, I'm very close with my family.
Yeah.
We're a very, very tight knit group. And if it were my brother and only my parents could go see, if it was like Jack or Maddie or even like whoever it was, I'd be like, you're joking. Like this is not real life.
Out of my
like
way.
Come on. Are you being serious right now? So that was it was that second wave they finally started letting people come in, but and then it got easier, and then we were all just annoyed that people just didn't follow the directions, because then we kept getting spikes of like COVID and stuff like that, and then we were just all done with the masks. Oh my God, that was the biggest annoyance of it all towards the end was just
the masks.
Damn masks. Oh my God, it was just like,
because at some point there's two ways to look at that portion. It's like, I'm sitting with these patients all day anyways. If I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, and I will take care of them regardless. But it's like, you also want to follow the rules and make sure that you're protecting yourself or not spreading it.
And your patient too, because you don't know if like you're bringing it in.
Yeah.
You know?
And that was one of the craziest parts of COVID, because it was like, okay, you have to wait 14 days to find out if you have it or not, because once you contract it, the first kind of couple waves were like, you have 14 days to figure out if you actually are sick with COVID.
Yeah.
And it's like, how does anyone even manage? How do you sit there and be like, well, I
put my entire life on hold.
I feel great. I can run. I can move. I'm fully functional. I feel no illness at all. But I could literally have COVID-19 right now, and it's just I have to wait.
And you have no idea.
I have to wait 14 days until I get tested,
and then figure out if you like infected anybody or like it
right.
Was,
and then
like the whole like a movie. It was literally like a movie.
Yeah, it was like almost like a pandemic movie without. Like, luckily, without the complete wiping out of our population.
Right, and the zombies and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, luckily, we didn't get to that part of the movie. But we got a little bit of, like, the forefront of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy, because it's like, you had to go back and figure out who you talked to.
Yeah.
Who you, like, hung out with. Mm-hmm. And, like, when the Thanksgiving came around during that second wave, I think it was towards the end of the second wave.
I think so.
And it's like, I got sick on like that weekend after of Thanksgiving, and I sat there. Yeah, and I like sat there, and I was like, how do I tell all of these people that I just hung out with that I have COVID now?
Yep.
Like, how do I felt so bad.
You felt like it almost made you feel dirty. Like, I literally just could have caused you harm. And then, like, you know, when you're like, oh, I have COVID. And they're going, be like, are you serious? Now we have to get tested.
Oh,
like,
my
you know?
God. Like, yeah, it was like, I have to get, are you serious?
Yeah.
I can't go to work. Like, I can't do this. It's like.
Oh, it was when, and then when so I ended up getting COVID around Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy because the way that they do in the hospital, like normally, like when you call in and you're sick, sometimes they ask your symptoms just to see like, oh, like, do you have a fever? Do you have other things?
Yeah. You know, are you going to die? Are you going to be fine with a little cold that passed through?
Right. Do I need to be like, oh, write her up. She should have been in work. Like, you know what I mean? But no, after COVID, it all kind of changed because when you called for COVID, and you called specifically because you got COVID, you had to have, like, of course, like your proof of testing and all that stuff. And then you had to go through and be like, when was your last shift? What patients did you take care of?
Yeah.
Who did you sit with at lunch? What computer did you sit at? Who was sitting next to you? Did you take off your mask at any point during the day? If you did, who were you around? Like, all of that. Like,
everything.
When did your symptoms start? Like, what specific time of day? Like, literally just the most detail ever. It was like you're being interrogated, but there's no glass in front of you and like you're not in like some rinky-dink police station or something like that. No, like you're literally just sitting in your house like, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to do?
Becky maybe is who I ate lunch with? I don't know.
I'm like, I don't know. That, you know? And I remember when I told them and they were like, oh, okay, 5 days or whatever it was. It went from 10, then it went to 5.
From 14 to 10 to 5.
Whatever it was at that point. I remember getting sick too. I remember the entire day me getting sick. I started just being a little bit of a sore throat and I was like, I was like snoring last night or something. Yeah, I'm fine.
My breath.
It's my asthma. Yeah. I don't know. You know,
I
whatever.
was breathing through my mouth and my mouth's dry.
Literally.
Yeah.
And progressively, I had a little cough and I was like, that's weird. And then
hold on.
I remember my friend Josh at work was like, are you feeling okay? And I was like, I don't know, dude. And like, he was like, And then my asthma started and I went, oh shoot, something's wrong. I was like, oh no. And then by the end of the day, I was like hacking up a lung. I was wearing an N95. I was like, this is so weird. So I went to urgent care like right away, tested negative for COVID, tested negative for everything. They're like, oh, you might have just had bronchitis. Because I get bronchitis like at least once a year, every other year because of my asthma. It just happens when I get a cold and then it just brews.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh no, maybe it's just like a viral form of bronchitis. And I'm like, this feels different. But okay. And they're like, oh, if you spike a fever, you know, like come back.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, okay. That night, this is all the same day. That night, I wake up, I'm like drenched in sweat. I think I had like 103 fever. I was like looking at my Apple Watch and I was like, my heart rate was like 120s and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Like I felt like I was gonna die and like I couldn't breathe. My inhalers weren't working. My nebulizer treatment wasn't working. Like nothing was working. I couldn't breathe. I like was crying. My mom and dad woke up because I was living at home at the time. And my mom was like, this isn't fucking bronchitis. Are you kidding me? So I went back to urgent care and they gave me like antibiotics and stuff like that. But they were like, you tested negative. And it was right before Christmas this happened. This was the week before Christmas. And Jane was, my niece at the time, was just about to turn 1.
Yeah, okay.
And we were all going to go down to St. Louis for Christmas. And I'm like, I can't have COVID. Like, I can't have COVID.
I know. You're like,
I can't have COVID. One, I'm going to be stuck here with the dogs alone on Christmas. Not going to freaking happen. That's my favorite holiday. Absolutely freaking not. 2, I'm like, I can't get Janie sick. Like, I'm like, what? I was like in deep panic. So then after I was like done and I was like not sick anymore, I went and I did another test. I did another rapid test and it was negative. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Went to St. Louis. I did a rapid test and then I did the longer test at the same time, but the rapid was negative. I was just waiting for that 3-day whatever test.
I remember. Yeah, it was so weird.
I was in St. Louis at Christmas with the whole fam bam, holding Janie, doing everything, being an auntie as I am. I get a call at like 10 o'clock at night, and they're like, you tested positive for COVID. And I went, you mother. I was so freaking pissed. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? So then I had to call work right away and be like, hey, I like was sick last week. I also worked while I had COVID technically, because after I was done and it wasn't COVID, like I went back to work, and then I had to stay at home for the 5 or 10 or whatever days, and it was just this whole shebang. But I was like, that false 2 negatives, I was so pissed. I was like, I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it.
I remember the first time I got COVID. Well, actually, I think it was the second time.
Yeah.
But you know how like you lose the taste?
I never did.
I didn't on my first one, but on my second one I did. And like it was maybe 9:30, 10:30 p.m. nighttime, and I'm like kind of feeling like a little bit sick, like I'm a little bit sore throat at onset. And I'm like, I don't know, like it just feels weird, like I don't know, like I just was like, I don't know what this is yet. And then, I kind of just went about my day, and then it's like 11:30 at night. It was like on a Friday or something like that. And I'm like, dude, this is so weird. So I went to go grab like just a little snack before I go to bed, and then like I like ate or took a bite of something, and I was like,
oh no.
I was like, wait, what? Like this doesn't taste right. Like I'm not. It's like I like was looking at it. I think it was something cinnamon like, and I'm like, this is weird. Like that's not.
Dun dun.
I was like, what's going on here? Why am I not tasting this? And then so I sat there and I was like, oh crap. I was like, let me just make sure I'm not crazy. I go in my fridge. I grab the lemon juice.
Oh,
straight up lemon juice. Like the very, like, you're like squinting.
The yellow
and you're like,
bottle.
Yeah, the yellow bottle.
That looks like a lemon.
Yes. And like you squeeze it, you drink it, and you're just like, you like quench up because it's so like sweet.
Yeah.
And I just straight up go like this, open it, just crank it in my mouth. And then I sit there and I swallow it, and I'm like, yeah, I have COVID.
Yeah.
I was like, I could not taste it at all.
No.
I had zero reaction, and I was like, well, it is what it is.
That's what it is.
I was like, it is what it is. I just accepted the fate, and that sickness actually wasn't really that bad. Like I was, the first time was really, really bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad. I was in my bed for 2 full days, and I just slept, and I could not move. It felt like mono.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't do anything. And then the second time that I got it, I kind of thought that it was going to be that bad. And maybe that's
like
what made it.
Prepared yourself for it?
Yeah, I was like, this is
Like
going to
that
be
mental
absolutely
game?
the worst in the world. So I like just slept extra, like took tons of vitamin C. I took.
Drank your fluid.
I did everything to the maximum, and it really diminished the whole sickness and made it kind of like a common cold.
Well, and also you were already exposed.
Yeah.
So probably was less of a blow.
Yes, less severe for sure.
Yeah.
So overall, I was just like, all right, like I'm ready for whatever this sickness is, and it was the weekend too, so I was like, all right, well, I just sacrificed my whole weekend for this, so whatever, I don't really care anymore. But back then, also for the people that weren't nurses and working in hospitals, when you got sick, it was like the holy grail because you got to stay home for like 14 days.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So it was like you're in contact with anyone who's sick, and you get to stay home for like 2 weeks.
That's so nice.
And work from home.
That sounds so nice.
I know.
The work from home life.
Yeah.
But
COVID is literally the only benefit that came out of COVID was the hybrid or like work from home life, or like just being able to have that be a little bit more accepted in society. Because sometimes things need to be flexible. You have kids that get sick.
Work-life balance.
You have kids that get sick. You got to pick them up from school.
Yep.
Like you don't have to go back to work and miss a day or take PTO. You got to just work from home and take care of the kid, or like going to a dentist appointment and coming back, like, and then like working from home for an extra couple hours here and there. Like the benefit from that, I think, has been overall super positive. But like people do be getting lazy working from home. I've seen it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I've seen it.
Absolutely. I've seen it in my own family because they'll
Yeah.
just start blowing up the group chat. And I'm like, aren't you guys supposed to be working?
Aren't you working? They're
Aren't
like,
you supposed to be working?
taking a break.
They're like, I'm in a meeting right now. I'm like, are you? Are you?
Yeah, that's the thing is during meetings when you're online or not at the physical location of the meeting, you don't like you can pay attention and listen, but you can still do other things. So
You can do dishes. You can do whatever you want.
yeah. Well, what I used to do, which was my favorite, was I used to just make food, like prep the food in my lunch meeting for lunch. The best part about that is like I'm still focused on the meeting. I'm just physically like moving around the food. Yeah, like that was the best part. The ones that are not efficient in my mind is texting group chats. I think if you're like looking or reading anything else, your mind is not actually focused. If you're doing something that's like mind numbing, like making food or eating food or something like that, like you're totally focused on the meeting. Which is crazy. So. Yeah. But yeah, COVID, it was just absolutely bananas. When did it start dying down from COVID and actually getting back to a little bit of normalcy after all the crazy shenanigans?
Oh, man. I got to think back.
Was that 2022 maybe? Because 2020 it started 2020 March.
It was like what? It was like 3 years.
It was about 3 years.
It's about 3 years.
2023 was when they kind of started opening things up. Well, officially.
The opening helped, like opening of things.
Yeah.
Once visitors were kind of back in the hospital. But honestly, a lot of the precautions stayed in place for a long time. Like masks stayed for like I want almost like
I would say 3 years. I think 3 years.
It stayed after that because even though COVID was done, they still had at least us mask in the hospital. And I think they just like I think that they just continue that practice because in the flu season this year, like the hospitals be masked again and the visitors had to mask again. Which honestly, I don't think is a bad thing at all.
Yeah, that's another huge positive from COVID.
I think that's a great thing that visitors are masking when they're coming into the hospital to these sick patients. Because one, it's not just for the patient; it's also for the visitor. Like you don't want to get sick with what they could have, or the hospital is a dirty, dirty, dirty place. Yeah. It is nasty.
They clean it as much as they can, but when you have patients that are sick that are coming through the whole time, you can't.
Sometimes, like I'll have patient family members with bare feet walking on the floor. And I literally just want to run and just be like, do not do that. Don't do that. Oh my God. Go clean your feet. Like
stop.
You don't know. You don't know what I cleaned up in that exact spot 30 minutes ago. You don't want to know.
Yeah.
Put your damn shoes on. But no, it was probably, I think it started feeling more normal when like people started coming back into the hospital. And like normal things like having like the Panera and like the stuff like that open in the hospital and like having the gift shop reopened and like stuff like that. And then when we didn't have to sign people in, have the whole visitor log, have the whole only these people here, that felt more normal. But honestly, it wasn't until the masks went away that I felt like, oh, this is like a glimpse of what it was like. But it was so hard to differentiate before and after because it will never be the same.
It felt like life.
We'll
like
never.
It was almost like this is life now.
This is the new normal.
Like the new normal is wearing a mask everywhere. Like, and that was for a full like 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
And even if people hated it or like wore it on their chin, it was like
it was part of your life.
That was the new normal.
Exactly. Like
it's just crazy.
I don't remember what I like. It's hard to remember what it was like before COVID sometimes because it's like that was like a historical monumental moment.
Yeah. And it was also weird to think about like COVID itself, like in the moment when we were all wearing masks all at the same time and you
like sheltering in place, like going crazy with toilet paper at Walmart, like emptying the shelves. Like people thought we were going to have like a doomsday whole situation.
And the number one thing you needed was toilet paper.
Yeah. Like what?
That one never made sense to me.
I don't understand the whole toilet paper craze. I was like you don't want food, you want toilet paper.
You don't want the canned food. Like the canned food section's full.
Yeah.
You don't want the canned food beans that are going to keep you alive for like 3, 4, 5 years if anything happens. You want the toilet paper.
Clearly some people missed the bug pack like doomsday like classes.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, like
Like the number one thing I can't go without is wiping my butt. I just can't do it. I just can't live
You'll
life
be
without
surprised how many people go without it.
Yeah.
It's people are dirty. People do not have personal hygiene, and it's scary sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know if I ever really felt normal again in the hospital. Mm-hmm. It was a new normal. But I think what didn't help is like we're still having such critical staffing, and nurses are burnt out. A lot of nurses left. A lot of nurses were like, screw this. I'm not going to be bedside anymore because this is not being fixed. I think.
Did you see a lot of turnover like that?
Oh God, yeah. I had so many, and in the worst way. Like everyone knows there are great nurses. There are top tier, like best nurses ever that
like
deserve
that will go
all the
above
praise.
And beyond.
And then there's the people that you're good at your job. You know, a lot of the really, really, really good nurses on my unit. It wasn't they were leaving the unit. They needed something different because like COVID broke them so much that they needed something different. So they were going into different specialties. They were going into travel nursing. They were going into a different specialty from like adults to peds. They're like, I need a little bit of a break from what was going on.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of exodus there. So the travelers stayed because they had to fill all these positions. And then staffing was still horrible. And we were having the same staffing. The double beds stayed forever. Lutheran still has crazy double beds, and for horrible, like, just why?
Yeah.
So it still hasn't gotten better. I mean, there's still critical staffing shortages across the entire U.S. I mean, even in Wisconsin, I'm still dealing with it at my hospital. There's still critical staffing. I mean, I'm a surgical ICU nurse now, so we technically they only want you to have 1 or 2 patients, but sometimes we're so short staffed. We have 3 ICU level patients, and it's so unsafe, but you have to do it because
there's nothing else. Yeah.
They'll die without you. You got to just do it.
Got to make it work.
But yeah, I think that's the reason it never felt normal again is because
the staffing is still a little bit short.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was never, it was like, it wasn't great before. I mean, but it was good. Like I wasn't depleted at the end of the day from just being short, like, and knowing that knowledge of like, oh, if we had 1 more nurse that day, if we had 1 more nursing aide, I wouldn't feel like this.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff wouldn't have happened because I wouldn't have been running between 12 different people or 3 different people doing all these other things. I could have actually focused.
Yeah.
So we're getting there, hopefully.
We're getting there. Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, hopefully the people that needed the break left, got their break, and are ready to come back in a year or 2 or less, and then they come back and fill some positions.
I don't know. If they know what's good with them, they'll never come back because they are happy and have a work-life balance, and like they don't hate themselves.
Yeah. But the craziest thing about that is like work-life balance would come with more nurses, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing is like, you leave, but like if you stayed and the other nurse stayed and the other nurse stayed, then you guys all could work just a little bit less and actually like be able to work and then go home and still not be over or understaffed for that.
Yeah, a good majority of nurses don't leave after 12. They're there 13, 14, however many hours, catching up on the charting or things that they couldn't physically get done within the 12 hours because it was short or it was crazy or someone died or like everything that was that happens, you know, on the daily on the unit. Sometimes you're there 2-3 hours past your 12 hour and then you're back the next day or the next night and then you do it all over again. I mean, I love it.
It's a lot of hours.
It is. I don't mind it. Sometimes I hate it, but
you guys get paid overtime, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a nice portion of it.
It's a nice portion.
Especially if you're a travel nurse too, and you
travel nurses make bank. They are rolling.
They make like
they
make bank.
It makes me think.
Yeah.
I
might have to do it. I don't know.
Oh no.
The thoughts in your head, you're just like.
Don't feed them.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. No, no. I had this one friend. He went and travel nurse like after COVID, and like he was just rolling. Like I I couldn't fathom the amount of money he was making, like 100 something an hour. And I'm like, how do you
teach
do this?
me your ways.
Teach me your ways. Teach me to be okay with being away from my like family. You know, like
how long are those travel nurse like spots usually for? Is that a couple months? Is it a year?
Typically the contract is like, I think it's like 3 months typically.
Okay.
At least the ones that I've experienced or that I know of, they're like 3 months. But then if the unit likes you, or if you like the unit, like you could have an option to extend.
Okay.
I had a friend who travel nursed, and he ended up staying for like almost a year at the same travel nursing spot because he liked it so much. And he was like, they kept offering an extension, and he was like, heck yeah, like let's go. And I think something that I didn't really even realize is you can travel nurse but like stay in Chicago. Like you could travel nurse around
Chicagoland
area.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea. Might have found your new gig.
I mean, we'll see. I'll have to move back from Milwaukee.
I mean, if there's any applications open, I might apply.
I mean, if it gets me back to Chicago and out of Milwaukee. I'm just kidding.
I might have to do it.
I hate to do it, but I
hate to do it to him, but I gotta do it to him.
Yeah, we'll see. But no, it's
a lot of hours. So how does the scheduling work? Do you get 13 hours in a couple days and then you're off for a couple days, or is it like firefighter kind of deal?
Most places they do like a preference schedule. You have to work 3/12s. At least in my ICU, if you're full time, you work 3/12s, and then you have to work they do it in 6-week blocking. So in the 6 weeks, you have to work at least 4 weekend days, 2 Fridays, and then obviously like 3/12s a week. But you can make a preference and be like, oh, I like working my 3 in a row and just being done for the week.
Yeah.
You can do it that way. If you're a person that you just can't do the 3 in a row, it's like too much. I'm getting to that point where I'm like,
so you do like Monday break, Tuesday break, Wednesday,
you can
Thursday break, Friday.
Yeah, okay. You can. You put in your preference, and then the manager obviously has to approve and balance the schedule and all that stuff. But typically, I like to do at least three in a row. And if I don't do 3 in a row, I'll do like 2 in a row and like an island day. So like this week, I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday this past weekend.
Okay.
So then Sunday was one day for this week, and then I just worked last night and the night before.
Gotcha. So Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
For golfers, it would be very nice.
Yeah.
Because those tee times on Mondays and Tuesdays are very cheap. Very, very cheap.
I really... Yeah, I don't really have a preference on like when I work during the week, honestly. But if I'm working the weekend, I'm gonna just work the whole weekend and just get it over with, because why work a Friday or like a Saturday and not work Friday and Sunday? And it's like, well, I want my full week.
Because you also get 2 days for that in terms of your requirement for work. Does that count as 2?
What?
If you do like Saturday and Sunday back to back?
It would be Saturday would count for that first week and Sunday would count for that other week. But you mean like weekend days?
Yeah, the weekend days. Yeah.
You can work all 4 Sundays if you want. You can work 4 Saturdays if you want.
Gotcha.
You just have to work 4 weekend in the 6 block, and then 2 Fridays. So it's not that bad, honestly. It's a lot less weekends than I was working as a tech. As a tech, I had to work the techs had to work, and nurses back at Lutheran, they have to work every other weekend. They have like assigned weekends where they have to work every other weekend. So I kind of like that at my new job, I get to pick which weekends kind of more. Yeah. It's not like assigned, which is really nice. And then also like, I didn't really know this was a thing until I was in nursing school. And then when I was working in the ICU, that they have weekend programs now where like some people will only work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they'll have the rest of the week always off. They'll always work Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's not bad.
I'm great for them. I don't know if it's just hardwired into me to like your weekend is your weekend.
I mean, yeah, but you have,
because like society is a thing, right. But like it would feel so weird for me, because then like unless they're a nurse, they're all off. Like anyone I know is off on the weekend, and I'm working every weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
So it just depends on what your lifestyle is and like what your like family situation is too.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be a stay-at-home mom,
exactly.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you work, and you're
And then
the rest of the week you're hanging with the
you're
kids.
Just with the kids, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple parents like on the weekend program that do that. They'll like work the weekends and then they'll be off and they'll take care of their kids. And then like this one guy that I work with, he works the weekends and then his wife works during the week. So like he works the weekends and then his wife has the kids and then like,
yeah,
you know, and it works. I mean, power to them.
Gotta make it work. They probably get bread though. So
yeah,
I mean,
well, because weekend you get paid more.
Ooh, what's the bump? 15%? 20%?
God, no. I wish. Nurses get paid shit sometimes. No. It's for night shift there's a $5 differential. So if you were to make 30 an hour or whatever it is, on a day shift you'd make 30 an hour. On a night shift you'd make 35. So
that's nice.
Which is nice because we do, night shifters do deserve more money. We deserve more money because we are literally flipping our entire circadian rhythm for 3 days a week. And then on weekends you get a $2 extra. So it's $7 on the weekends if you're on night shift. But if you're a weekend program, you get paid more. I don't know what the exact pricing is.
So you could get paid $10 more.
Something like that. It's something like that. Where
if
it's
you
like
work weekend nights.
No. If you were our weekend programmer and you work night shift, you're probably making 20 more an hour or something around there than anybody else.
And you're a travel nurse?
Well, if you had travel nursing, you're rolling in dough. Like you could literally work for a year and be like, I'm gonna go travel for like 2 years.
We're just low key marketing for the nurses so we get more of them.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing here.
You know, just
you
good,
can
good
make
selling
absolute
point.
millions of dollars if you just sell this course to 5 people.
If you sell your soul to be a nurse.
If you pyramid scheme this, you sell to 5 people, and those 5 people sell to 5 more people, you will be rich.
Yeah, no. I also found out that travel nursing abroad's a thing too.
Ooh.
So I'm like.
So like Spain, Barcelona.
No.
Barcelona.
I know. I was looking into it.
Okay.
After the election because America, and then
because America.
And I know quite a lot of countries that will take nurses from the U.S. Like I think it's.
Well, I think you should just do it because Barcelona or like Rome.
You know, I don't
travel
speak.
Nurse in Rome.
That's the wrong language that I speak. I don't speak Spanish.
True.
I would have to go to France, but Maddie's already got that implanted. She's like, if you ever work abroad, like we're going to Spain, because like she's like, I miss Spain so much, and I'm like, oh, whatever.
You're like, cool. I'm going to Paris.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, typical. You can't do it for me. I'm like, no, Maddie, it's for me. No.
Sweet. So how does the program? Have you looked into the program?
I haven't looked yet. I haven't tempted myself too much, but I know
you might have to.
I know what countries. I know off the top of my head, like all of the UK and Ireland. I believe, I think Iceland might be one.
You might want to check into the UK one and make sure that you don't go there because you might need a little bit more sun. They don't get any sun.
This is what I look like
I'm talking about
or without
like,
sun.
I'm talking about like the fact that you get so much sun exposure here compared to there.
I love the rain.
I don't know. I
loved Ireland when I went. I love their weather
every single winter because I like don't get any sun, and I'm like I leave work at 4:30.
Yeah.
And it's pitch black, and you go to work at like 7, and it's pitch
but it's
black.
All cozy. You could curl up with your books.
Not for me. I just need.
You've always been a summer baby though.
But I don't care if it's cold.
Yeah.
I just need
want sunshine.
the sunshine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the sunlight. It's nice.
I don't mind sun. Believe me. I like my sunshine.
So you're okay with the UK? You might as well go there.
But I love me my autumn and winter, and I love me my rainy days. That's like my.
I mean, if you're a Harry Potter girly, I mean, UK is.
You know I am.
I mean,
you know I am. I mean,
UK's for you.
Don't.
You could basically
me, Jacob. I don't need any more tempting than I already have. Lisa's gonna kill you. She's gonna be like,
don't send her away to the UK. What are you doing?
He's like, are you trying to separate us? And you're gonna be like,
she's
listen,
gonna make a lot of money.
You're gonna be like, listen, Lisa, listen. I'm just trying to sneak in on that spot in your family.
Listen, there may be a gap of a certain, age group of 1997 babies that may not need to be filled. I could be that.
I mean, you already work out with Joe, so you guys are already gym buddies.
Workout buddies.
Oh my god.
Me and your dad we're good workout buddies.
Oh my God. Do you know he tells me every time he sees you at the gym?
He should.
Every time.
As he should.
As he should.
King.
He's just like.
He's a king.
He is a king. He is a king.
He's the best.
He's the best. But he's like, oh my God, I saw Jacob at the gym. He says hi. I'm like, great. Do you guys work out together? Yeah, we did some weights next to each other. I'm like, awesome.
We do. We actually do. I'm not even kidding. It's great.
I don't remember one time he was like, yeah, I came up and he walked on the track with me or whatever. And I was just like, really?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
He is.
We always get a good lift in.
Oh, absolutely.
And then he usually says hi. I'm doing a lot of cardio recently, which is good.
Really?
Yeah. So just like walking, incline stuff, like nothing too crazy.
Not running yet.
Well, I do run, but I like when I'm at the gym, I just like doing the cardio because I can control the speed.
Yeah.
Because whenever I walk outside, I usually walk slower or faster than I'm supposed to. That's not really controlled. With running, I just go run just to run for fun.
Yeah.
But he always comes, talks to me, and says hi to me because I'm always just like playing on my iPad or watching the TV. So he's always trying to bug me when I'm doing that. It's great.
Oh my God, he loves it.
He's the goat.
He is. The
yeah,
goat.
you might have to go to UK though. I don't know.
I know. Hey,
Or
you'd have somewhere.
France.
You'd have somewhere to visit.
I'm down. I'll come in, watch some Premier League games, and call it a day.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So, how much did you make if you go over abroad? I guess you haven't really looked into the program, but
I'm sure you make a like kind of like you probably make decently like a travel nurse would.
Yeah.
But
you're in England.
And
Go and visit Buckingham Palace, man. Come on now. Come on.
kidding me? Find me a British boy. Let's go. Let's go. Give me an accent. Let's go.
I'm not gonna say no to an accent.
Are you kidding me? Call me darling. Let's go.
But you can't be. You just gotta watch out for the certain area accents. Some of them they're a lot different than others.
Oh,
you'd be surprised.
Every time I like see like those like TikToks or Instagram reels of like the different the Scouse accent and like all these
Scouses.
things, and I'm like
the Scouses,
or the Wales, and I'm like, what are you saying?
Yeah,
like the Welsh accent. I'm like, what?
I always remember the one video of that girl where they ask her like, "What's the worst accent in the UK?" You're like, "It's probably Birmingham." I don't know why.
I know exactly what video you're talking about too. Oh my gosh, yeah. No, I just and then trying to like understand a thick Scottish accent.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
I'm like, what? You're not speaking words, and this is not English. Like, I'm like, what is that? It's crazy.
So one of our coaches at in Palatine is from Scotland, and he brought a couple of his buds from Scotland to here, and I had to think after every single time they spoke.
Your brain hurts.
And I had to give it a couple seconds, and I understood what they're saying. It just took me a couple seconds. You're almost you're translating.
You're buffering in there, and the three little dot thing.
That's what he said.
Like the message bubble, like it's just in your mind, just going boop boop boop.
I know, and then it's like, okay, that's what he said. Yeah. Now I gotta respond. Now I gotta think about my response. Yeah, it's
rough out there sometimes.
But they're a lot better once they kind of get towards the American accent.
Yeah.
When they fake an American accent, it still sounds.
It sounds British. Better than how I speak.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Which is kind of crazy.
Which is hilarious. But it once you listen to them too, after a while, you're like, oh, okay. Like my family, we went to Ireland this past summer, right? And oh my gosh, we started mimicking the accents, of course.
Oh no!
As the urbans do. But no, I remember my mom looked at me. She's like, "Stop it! And I'm like, I can't. It's just rolling out the tongue now. I can't not. Because when it's around you 24/7, you're just like, oh yeah. And then I remember we were in some random coastal small town. And we went into this great pub, and it was just football on the TV, right? Pool tables, old bar.
Smells like smoke in there.
It was impeccable.
Exactly what you'd think.
Exactly what you would want. And the owner was there, had to at least be 4 Guinnesses deep at this point. Come on, it's his bar. Who cares?
He can do what he wants.
He talked to us for 30 minutes. Did I understand a single word he said? No. But the best part about that conversation was watching Joe and Lisa and their faces calculate what he was trying to say. And Jack just had to walk away and start playing pool because he was like, I can't do it. Like, I don't know what he's saying. And like, I don't want to be rude. And I just keep smiling going, yeah. So like I had to like.
You were like, you're the culprit. Totally.
I was like,
yeah, I know.
and then he was like, and then he's like, I can't look at Dad with a straight face right now. I'm like, I can't either. We got to go. They can talk. And then we just started talking to the bartender and like who was younger, and he was like, yeah, sometimes I don't know what he says either. And I'm like, perfect.
When your own people don't even know what you're saying.
When your own people don't understand you once the Guinness touches your lips.
If you put like a really thick Chicago accent,
oh my God, yeah,
up against a couple of those other accents, I mean,
yeah.
It'll get tough.
Especially like from the South Side,
or like New York, like a Bronx accent.
You know what always like cracks me up about the Chicago accent is that people sometimes think they're like either from Boston or like New York.
Yeah, they do.
No, like
they do.
Yes, the accents are very similar, but it's different. Like
it's just it's a little different.
Ever since Jack's lived downtown, he has gained such a
really.
I mean, he's always had like that abrupt, sort of, like, what are you doing? Like all that stuff, right? We're not even Italian, but he likes to fake so. I mean, he's whatever. He's like,
what are you doing? Eh?
What are you doing? And then like, and he's just like, oh my God. And so like sometimes when he comes home from the city, and then especially when he's like a couple beers deep, and we're like watching the Bears game or something,
the Bears.
The way that he speaks, I'm like, who are you? And he was like, oh yeah, by the way. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, by the way.
And I was like,
the Bears
what?
are gonna win a championship this year.
Yeah, he was like, I was watching the Bears game with like these guys, and then these girls thought I was from Boston. And I'm like, I'm not from Boston. And I'm like, Jack,
stop talking like this.
Stop. What are you doing? And he was just like, yeah, they straight up thought I was from Boston, and they thought I was Italian. I'm like, Italian. Italian, and he was like, "Shut up!" I'm like, okay, but no.
You've changed. Enough hanging out with this Chicago folk.
Wicker Park has changed you.
Park has changed you. Oh boy, we love you, Jack. We know Jack's listening to this. We love it.
We love you, Jack.
Oh, that's awesome. That is hilarious. So yeah, you might have to look into traveling nursing.
I know.
And then you'll come back with a British accent, and then Jack will really give it to you.
Oh yeah.
And then you'll come back and you'll have a wand in your hand. Like, so I went to Hogwarts.
What makes you think I don't have one already, Jacob?
This is true.
All right.
I was talking about a legit one though.
Oh, probably.
Like you might actually go to the school.
Oh, I might actually go to Hogwarts and find out that I'm a wizard, because 1990, as all Harry Potter nerds know, 1998 was the Battle of Hogwarts, so all the records were destroyed. So if you were born after 1998 and you didn't get your letter, or during that time.
Ooh, there you go.
It could be real.
It could be real. Your owl's just waiting for you to pull up.
If that ever happened, if Gandalf ever finds me to go find a ring, if I ever get a letter from Hogwarts, if I ever get Obi-Wan Kenobi coming and finding me that I'm a lost Jedi, if I ever go, hello there, and if I ever go into some wardrobe and I go into Narnia, like I know my life is made. Okay,
that come on, Narnia one was absolutely crazy.
On.
Real quick, is the Narnia Harry Potter
the conspiracy theory
true? For those who don't know,
oh my God.
Harry Potter Narnia conspiracy theory is based off the fact that the 4 houses of Harry Potter are actually the 4 children in Narnia.
Yep. If you think, if we're gonna really
there's 2 girls, 2 boys.
Right. You got Lucy, you got Susan.
Susan.
Lucy is Hufflepuff.
Susan's Ravenclaw.
And then you got Edwin.
Edwin
is Slytherin, and then Peter's
Gryffindor.
Peter
Gryffindor.
Peter. And if you look into it, like if you remember back to Narnia, his sword had a lion's head on it.
It did have a lion's head on it.
Gryffindor. Their mascot is the lion.
Yep.
Slytherin. Hey, don't be too mean because I'm a Slytherin, all right? Don't be too mean. But like he was cunning and tried to be cunning and all these things. Lucy is just this like happy-go-lucky Hufflepuff, like trying to heal everyone, be everybody's friend, be loyal, all that good stuff. And then you have Susan, the smarty pants, like
who's Ravenclaw?
Come on,
Ravenclaw is always the smarty pants.
I don't think J.K. Rowling has ever debunked this theory. Or has she? I don't know. No one come for me. But I mean, it could be.
It could be.
I mean,
it's so similar because it was like back in the day,
So
back when
similar.
this happened.
Well, and it was like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
They
from like
created the
modern
four
day.
houses of witchcraft, and
I mean,
they won the battle. I mean, like the whole.
there's crazy similarities.
It's crazy similar.
There's a fine line. There's definitely a fine line.
The real question is which one was written first. Do we know? I don't know off the top of my head.
Oh, probably C.S. Lewis.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then I don't. It's possible that each could go into each other.
it could. I mean, it could.
I would
It could
love
be an
it.
inspiration. I mean,
Right.
I love when things. I love a good connection. I love a good little like, oh my god, this came from this, or this is like connected, like
Yeah.
that whole conspiracy stuff. Oh, I love that stuff.
Yeah. Well, they also did the one where they relate Harry Potter to Star Wars.
Please tell.
So
What-
they
okay, what
like,
is this?
I don't know who ripped off who. I think Harry Potter ripped off Star Wars.
In what way?
I don't remember. So it was like, okay, you have a lonely guy who has like no parents, right? Who has fake parents, essentially. Luke Skywalker, Harry Potter have fake parents. And then he goes on this
Aunt and uncle.
aunt and uncle, right? Both of them. Technically, both of them.
Technically aunt and uncle, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Right. Both
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't actually Luke's uncles, but they
Right.
were actually Harry's.
Right.
So like
Well,
but it was still like
Well,
uncle.
They're uncle by in Star Wars. They were uncle by marriage, because Shmi
yeah,
and right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, so basically very similar. And then they go
Okay.
on a, magical journey where they meet
A quest.
a quest where they meet some older person who guides them. So that would be Obi-Wan, Uncle Ben, and then
Hagrid.
right? And then they go to a place where they learn this mystical art, aka magic and the Force. And then they get taught by a bigger master who then
Okay.
who's
I can
Gandalf,
see-
or not Gandalf,
Gandalf.
uh,
God.
Dumbledore and Yoda.
Yeah.
And then they go on a quest to defeat some said bad guy, Voldemort,
Yep.
Darth Vader,
Yep.
And
I mean,
then there happens to be some rich history behind both of them. Like the whole
there is
story,
for sure some similarities there.
some similarities.
But also, if you were to break down the theory into the basic skeleton of it,
It's very basic.
It's very basic. You could
Yeah.
also say the same thing about like a lot. Like
You could say that a lot.
You could say that about Lord of the Rings with Frodo, with
Yeah.
his uncle.
Yes.
Old man comes to take him away on a quest.
Yep.
Defeats evil.
Right.
Magic, all the fun things. I mean, come on.
The
That's
stories
why
are
they
very
do so
similar.
well.
Yeah. They're very
That's why they
similar.
market so well, because everyone wants that quest story. They want to go on a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, that you can say that someone ripped each other off with all the whole like Batman, Superman kind of stuff.
Oh,
and
like absolutely.
versus
But,
Marvel
okay,
and
if we're gonna talk about Batman,
what?
all right, who is the best Batman?
Who's the best Batman? I have opinions about this that not many people agree with, but the Heath Ledger Dark Knight series is number one.
Oh, absolutely.
Number two in my eyes would actually be the most recent one.
With Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, the darker Batman.
That was good.
Number three would be the old the Batman series with the Penguin.
Yep.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger in there is Mr. Freeze or whatever he was.
Yeah.
That series is 3 for me.
Okay.
And then number 4 would be actually the animated Batman series.
Oh, okay,
with
yeah.
the animated Joker.
Yeah.
So Luke Skywalker is actually the voice actor for the Joker.
Mark Hamill or Mark
Yeah.
whatever. Seriously?
Yeah, so he's the voice actor for the Joker in all of the animated series and in Arkham Knight, the video games.
Yeah.
So any animated thing, he's basically the voice of the Joker, which is crazy.
That's actually funny.
It's insane. And then after that, I would put the what's it called? Ben Affleck one.
Yeah.
I thought that one was.
I never watched that one.
It's good. I thought it went down like a political kind of route, which I thought was very good. But just the way that it was executed just wasn't Wasn't what Batman is like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by the political route, I mean like they went to see like he wanted to show that like Superman was evil by destroying all these buildings and saving the city. He wasn't really saving no city. He was destroying the city.
Yeah.
And that was the whole like politics behind it was like, no, you're not a superhero. You're not some super person. You're the person
why
that's
Gotham
destroying.
is this way. Yeah.
You're why Gotham's being destroyed. Like all the lasering you did in the buildings to stop the other supervillain, it wasn't actually good. It was for bad purposes.
Yeah.
And you're not a good person. And I'm going to show that to everybody. How you drop buildings on people and killed people.
Definitely a different arc.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it was interesting.
Yeah.
But I thought the way
Different.
they did it was not up to par with what they should have done.
Yeah. But no.
But I thought he was one of the best Superman though. Henry Cavill.
Oh.
He was one of my favorites.
I won't watch the new Superman.
I'll watch it.
I can't. I like it.
It looks a lot more classic. It looks like the classic cartoon of Superman.
It's just like with Christian Bale and then with Henry Cavill. It's like to me, like though that's Batman, that's Superman. Like it's just like it's so hard when they
but
like
even the
constantly
older
change.
Superman was really good though.
Yeah, like
He
once
was
they
also
just like
really good.
constantly change like the actor, it's just like,
Yeah.
how many more are you gonna make? Like,
They're gonna make as many as they can to make money. It's
Yeah.
like this Fast and Furious series. Because if you look at it in terms of money perspective, they're going to keep making them.
That's true.
Because
As long as people go and see them and put in.
Yeah, well, like Fast and Furious,
Yeah.
they cost $100 million to make it. They make $200 million on the movie.
Yeah.
Why would you not continue making those movies?
This is true.
You're making $100 million every movie.
Yeah.
Why would you not continue? You know, you're paying the actors what they want. If they accept it, they make the movie and they make the money and they make profit on that. Why would you not make it?
True.
Like they may not make 500 million, 600 million like they did on like the third and fourth movies.
And like Dark Knight and like.
Like Dark Knight, that made so much money.
So much money. Well deserved.
Yeah, like, but they're not making that kind of money, but they're still making a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of money. So
true.
keep it going,
Keep
right?
it going. Yeah.
But overall, I do think that the new Superman will be relatively good because I think they're going back to the original like
Storyline and stuff like that.
Well, the storyline's relatively been the same, but I think that the Henry Cavill version was more of like a modern Superman. Like, what would Superman look like in today's day and age? Like with the whole trucker scene. Do you remember that? When the trucker like threw the beer in his face and tried to push him. Like, that's like a very modern day.
True.
And I hope they go back to like newspaper comic version Superman, where he's like super duper uber nerdy.
Yeah.
Like, again, like with Lois Lane.
A true Clark Kent.
Yeah, like a true
and a
like,
true Lois Lane
oh, like,
at the newspaper.
I'm so clumsy.
Like,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Like, sure, Lois. Okay.
Yeah, not this like
And then-
sexy, confident man with glasses on. I mean, like, come on, Clark Kent was
He's
never.
a
Come
man,
on.
a man, a man. Yeah, like he was beast.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. They. Yeah. That was the whole appeal to Superman in general, was because he was a straight up nerd,
Yeah.
and that's why he gained.
Everyone loved him.
That's why everyone loved him,
And he
and
was
that's
also
why everyone
unstoppable.
related to him, because
Yeah.
when you feel that way and like you're kind of overlooked, and then you're
Little
also
nerdy
this,
kid.
You're a
You're
little nerdy
also
kid.
the most powerful being in the world.
What nerd doesn't want to be a superhero or
Right.
have some sort of
What
way?
nerd doesn't want to be Superman exactly?
That too.
You're like a nerdy
Fly,
little kid. You're super
strength.
smart. Yeah. Stop bullets.
Come on. Just
Yeah.
swole.
That's, yeah. See, the only thing I say that's negative about Superman is he's essentially unbeatable.
Except if you had kryptonite.
Yeah, like what's your kryptonite? Yeah, so I mean,
Everyone's got an Achilles heel.
yeah,
You know.
but the craziest thing is that like, you just stay away from kryptonite and you're good.
Right? Like, can you
Like-
imagine if they were like, stay away from strawberries and you'll be the literal like most strong like hero of the world.
Yeah,
You know, like so random.
but like, I love strawberries. So
I know, I love strawberries too. I
So
couldn't do
I-
it. I'd die.
I get it. I get it. I get it, Superman. I get it. Kryptonite be hitting different. You know, I'm not against no kryptonite.
Everyone's got kryptonite, right?
Yeah,
Everyone's got.
their own little kryptonite.
Come on. Everyone's got weaknesses.
For me, it just happens to be strawberries. That's it.
Is that your kryptonite? Just
No.
strawberries?
Definitely not. Yeah, I don't know what my kryptonite would be. That'd be. I have to think about that. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Let me know. I'll let you know mine.
It's because
We'll trade
it's like kryptonite would be your weakness that
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could go super intrinsic with it, or you could be more surface level with it. There's multiple different types of crypto.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
I don't know.
Like, are we talking like?
I'd probably say like, I'd almost say like competition sometimes, but that's like a high level, like, because it breaks me down.
Oh, you've always been very
like,
competitive.
I'm like, I want to win. Like,
you kidding me?
I'd kill to win.
The amount of races that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah, as kiddos.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The amount of times
I don't like losing. I don't know.
Oh my god, yeah. You're
but
sore.
I don't know if that's like,
you are.
I am.
I love you, but you are sore.
Losing is
loser.
my kryptonite.
You are sore loser.
Because I become weak.
You would be so mad. Oh my god. Okay? So for those of you,
I am a very big sore loser.
Oh my god.
I hate losing.
Okay, for those of you who don't know,
I do hate losing.
I've known Jacob for like almost my entire life, right? Yeah. We had to be like 5 or 6 or something when we first met. I don't even. Yeah. I can't even remember.
Been a long time.
But we went on vacation together when we were. So
we are the OG OBX.
The OG OBX.
So we went to the Outer Banks.
Yeah.
And we did the Outer Banks TV show ourselves before it came out.
They copied it after
10 years. Yeah. The story is actually written after our story. We wrote in our journals that we never wrote ever because we never did. But no, we were the OG OBX crew.
The OG OBX crew, yeah. No, I don't remember what we were doing, but we were playing some type of game. Yeah. I remember this distinctly. And you lost, and you didn't talk to me for the rest of the day, and you would give me a death stare.
Yes.
And I was like...
It could have been Wii Sports for all I care. I lost.
Literally, it probably was something like that, or so like it might have been basketball because we would play basketball in the front because my sister was in high school at Meadows with basketball. So she'd all this training she would have to do, or like, and then we would play baseball in that cul-de-sac too. So like, who knows what it was? But I remember you distinctly death staring me and being so
I hate losing.
Mad at me.
Yes.
And then add that I was also a girl, and when you but then no. Do you remember when we watched? Losing. Do you remember when we watched Mummy on the bunk bed?
The movie?
Yeah.
Were we okay? Was this when we had like 3 people in one room?
You were
like,
in a bunk bed room, like
it was like me.
Was it in the basement?
No,
first floor.
I was with Jack.
Were you with you, Jack, and Brett? Maybe.
Yeah, I think me, Jack, and Brett were in one room.
Yeah.
And then it was like Nico, Joshua, and Miles in another room.
And
I don't
Spencer.
Remember. Maybe
the
Spencer.
Gibsons were there too.
Yeah.
Spencer, maybe.
I do remember that though. And then we watched Family Guy too.
Yeah, I'll never forget. We were on the top bunk watching The Mummy. Oh my god!
Dude, that movie was awful.
You made me watch it, and I didn't. I was like,
good.
oh, I'm scared. And you were like, no, it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
It's good, dude. It's a great movie series.
It was so funny. We just sat on the top bunk watching The Mummy on this like small like TV.
Dude, it's good. It's a good series.
It was such a good
Have
time.
you watched 2 and 3?
No.
She's learned nothing.
Oh.
I've taught in all of our years of friendship, I've taught her nothing about the Mummy movie series.
You know.
Next up, you have to watch the Scorpion Lord movies, the Scorpion
God.
King movies with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Do I?
It's very similar to the Mummy.
Is it actually good?
Legendary movies.
Okay.
I actually like them.
Should I be making a list at this point?
I can give you a list of plenty of movies to watch.
All right. Give me a list of movies to watch, and I will send you my ratings as I watch them.
I got to know if you've watched them or not, though.
Okay.
So, The Mummy, obviously you've watched that one. That one's good. There's a whole series on that. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I forget the actor's name. He played the whale famously.
Yeah. I know.
I don't want to say
remember.
James, but whatever.
Yeah.
That movie series, the Scorpion King movies are actually really good.
Okay.
Very similar to the Mummy series. So if you don't like the Mummy series, you don't have to watch that one either.
Kind of like an Indiana Jones thing?
Yeah. Okay. Very much like Indiana Jones.
Well, like, yeah.
Have you seen Indiana Jones?
Of course I've seen Indiana Jones. Okay.
Have you seen like Kingdom of Heaven?
What? Kingdom of Heaven?
Yeah.
Which one's that one?
Oh my God, you gotta watch that movie.
Oh my God.
That one's great. That one's about the Crusades.
Oh, okay.
Very cool.
I'm pretty sure my dad has raved about this movie.
Orlando Bloom's in it.
Oh, then I definitely should watch it.
You should definitely Prime Orlando.
Prime Orlando, like Lord of the Rings Orlando,
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean
Not
Orlando.
Not like Gran Turismo Orlando Bloom, like Prime.
Prime Orlando. Okay.
Yeah. And also, have you seen Gran Turismo?
No.
Gran Turismo.
I love me some Legolas. All right.
He's also in that movie. So.
Okay.
And he's like a dad figure in that movie. So. Traveling nerds, you might be into that. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? You got it. All day.
Oh no.
It's dad figure Orlando Bloom. I mean, go for it.
What does travel nursing have to do with that?
No clue. I just wanted to throw that in there because it was funny.
That was funny.
Let's see what else I have on my list. I mean, all the Dark Knight series are really good. I would say, have you seen the Spider-Man Spider-Verse?
I haven't seen Spider-Verse, but I've seen all the other Spider-Mans.
You have to watch the Spider-Verse.
Do I?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Marvel.
Yes.
I have a beef with Marvel.
It's better than the Spider-Man movies.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know.
Except for the No Way Home.
The way that Marvel,
100%.
The whole Infinity War Endgame, that whole timeline, amazing.
Yeah.
I feel so lost in this current.
Yeah.
What is going on?
They'll get there. They're building it up.
I know, and I know
Slowly.
I felt lost during that whole other timeline, but I'm like, it's harder to follow.
It'll
it's
get
harder
there.
to follow. I know.
You got to watch the most recent movie. That'll help you out.
I haven't.
That'll help you out. Thunderbolts.
Or New Avengers.
New Avengers, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. I mean,
that'll be good.
Sebastian Stan's in it. Of course I'm going to watch it.
Of course.
Oh, God. Yeah.
It's like Orlando Bloom in his prime.
Well,
Sebastian Stan is in his prime.
He is prime.
Yeah.
I mean.
That movie is hilarious for those people who haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
It's actually really funny. Just funny.
Endgame hilarious.
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Even though Thor Ragnarok kind of actually Thor Love and Thunder went a little bit too much. That was a little bit too much.
I stopped watching it because I was like,
it's just they just tried too much.
Yeah.
They went a little bit
Jane
too,
back in. It was
improv. They went a little bit too.
No
improv.
offense, love Natalie Portman, but
I thought they sent her character away nicely though.
Yeah.
Because that was the end of her character basically.
Right.
Because she goes to Valhalla. Mm-hmm. So spoiler for those who haven't seen it.
I just looked up the ending because I didn't want to finish watching it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good send off for her character. But the movie's really funny because they just do a good job of intertwining like good humor with good speech around the humor.
Okay.
One of the things that
it's witty.
Exactly. And one of the funniest parts, in my opinion, was the Red Soldier. I think is his name.
Yeah, the Yelena and Natasha's dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. No, he's the funniest person in the whole movie.
He was really funny in Black Widow.
Yeah, so
it's really funny in Black Widow.
Yelena, one of the scenes it's in the trailer. One of the scenes, Yelena basically knocks on the door and he's like, oh, 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll be right there. And he's cleaning everything up and he puts he's like everything is everywhere. It's so dirty. It's such a mess because he's been doing this for a whole year.
Uh-huh.
It's all messy everywhere. And then they sit down. He's like, oh, how are you? And he's like, I'm good. How you been? He's like, oh, I'm great. Everything is so great. And he's like, are you great? Really? And he's like, no, look at this place. I'm terrible. I'm awful. Look at this place.
Yeah.
And it's that's the witty theme humor of the whole movie. Stunning.
Okay. All right.
Definitely
I'll add it to the list.
It also has some pretty badass characters in it. So.
Well, I mean, just from the lineup, pretty much.
Well, I'm talking about the main character of the movie itself.
Oh.
You'll see. I don't want to spoil anything.
Cryptic. All right.
I don't want to spoil anything.
No spoilers. Snitches get stitches.
That's right. And spoilers are boilers.
Boilers?
I don't know. I was trying to.
You tried.
It totally failed.
Yes.
But it's way worth your time and patience to just wait for these movies to kind of roll out.
Yeah.
Because they did run to a lot of issues with King the Conqueror.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about that at all. Mm-mm. Basically, domestic violence cases came up and he got
for the character himself.
Yeah. For the person, and they had to drop him from the series, and that's kind of why you're seeing a lot of the misorganization, and it's not really doing as good as it used to.
Yeah.
Because their main bad guy that they banked a lot of the series on is not.
Are they just going to replace the actor?
They're not replacing the actor. They're going a completely different direction.
So what about the whole end of Loki and like the whole like
Ant-Man? Yeah.
And Doctor Strange and like
yeah, so it's still there. Like that stuff is still going to be like make sense down the line, but they're just not using King the Conqueror anymore.
I wonder if they
might use him later though. They might recast it later, but currently
I wonder if they have like I always wonder how they write those things, like if they just go, or if they have an end goal in mind and whatever happens in between happens.
Oh, Endgame was like a 10-year plan.
It's so interesting.
That was like a 10-year plan. They already have plans for movies in 2030.
That's insane.
It's just 5 years from now.
That's,
and they don't have scripts written up, but they have like the general
like plots, like the plot board or whatever.
Yeah, the plot board. They have like characters they're bringing in. They have like what's going to happen in what movie, the overall like.
Well, I guess it kind of helps. They also have all the comics too that they.
Yeah, and they kind of just base it off of them.
Yeah. My biggest thing is like, where does the Eternals or whatever fit in? Because
Eternals?
Yeah.
They introduced Celestials.
Oh.
Celestials are the beings that are in like that are born in seeds of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, what's the whole Harry Styles thing at the end? Like.
Yeah, we're gonna see
down the line. Oh my!
It could be the next movie where they show him.
Interesting.
It could also be like Doomsday. They'll probably maybe be in there.
I'm very excited to see RDJ again.
That one's going to be interesting. Well, the whole thing about that is that it's him as Doctor Doom.
Right.
And he's assembling essentially the evil Avengers.
Oh, love it.
So like evil Thor, evil Captain America, evil Black Widow,
from the multiverse?
Evil Doctor Strange. Yeah. All of the evil versions of everyone. And he's going to assemble them to fight the people that are the current Avengers.
I'm so excited.
And
that's going to be so freaking good.
Because it's going to be like, wait a second. We just watched these guys in Endgame absolutely destroy everyone and win. Mm-hmm. And now they're all working together against the good guys?
Yeah.
It's going to be like, wait, what?
Wild.
Yeah.
Well, like, do you think that they're going to like recast like Scarlett Johansson as like the bad Black Widow? Like how they
she's
do
gone.
Like, do you think she's gone?
I think she's gone, but I don't know. They could bring her back.
It's a possibility.
Heard
it here first.
The multiverse is technically endless.
It is.
So you could do literally whatever you want.
They honestly could, yeah.
They could put Yelena as Black Widow.
Yeah.
Like what Scarlett Johansson's character was, or the evil version of Scarlett Johansson could be Yelena.
Well, and the Loki that Loki was trying to find ended up being a woman.
Yeah. So, or the crocodile.
Who knows? And the crocodile.
The Loki crocodile. See? That's the thing. And the only people who really understand how the multiverse really works in terms of like the full depth are people who watch Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty?
Isn't that crazy?
Oh my God.
Because the people who watch Rick and Morty understand what like Rick is. They understand that you can go to different dimensions and like live the exact same life you did without this one event happening.
God, I haven't watched that show in a minute.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So like there was one, I forget what scene it was, where like one of the family members died because of a decision that like I forget who made the decision. I'm guessing Morty made the decision, and then like one of the family members died, and then he like reset the timeline by going into a different timeline.
Yeah.
And they basically replaced the Rick and Morty there, but then that person not dying like didn't happen, essentially.
Wild.
And it's like, whoa.
Could you even imagine?
Wait, who's the real Rick and Morty? You know? So like, yeah, it's hard as a human being to like understand and grasp those kind of insane and complex not go insane
themselves, like thinking about it.
Right. Because technically that could be possible in our universe.
Could you imagine like a multiverse Jacob or multiverse Grace? Like,
yeah, he's probably better. He's probably a king somewhere, ruling something.
A king? Oh,
come on, man, can dream, right?
Like, I guess it is your dream as a multiverse to be a king. I mean,
you know, ride a dragon or something.
I would be riding a dragon if I come on, especially for my fourth ring readers out there.
Fourth ring?
Fourth wing.
Or fourth wing. What's
fourth
that?
Wing.
I gotta study up.
You gotta read this book.
You gotta read this series. What's fourth wing? Is it like Aragon?
Oh my God, no.
Have you read Aragon?
No.
You should read Aragon if you like dragons.
Okay, so Fourth Wing is the first book of a 3-book series, or
Right.
there are 3 books so far. The 4th book has yet to come out. There's going to be 5 books in this series. Author is Rebecca Yarros.
Okay.
So basically,
Shout out Rebecca.
yeah, shout out Rebecca. Love her to death. She's amazing. The way that she writes is just beautiful.
Okay.
So it's a romantasy.
Romantic fantasy
Yes.
book. Gotcha.
Yes.
Romantasy.
And basically, it's all the main character is her name is Violet Sorrenfeld.
She's a girl.
She's a girl.
She rides dragons.
She does it well.
We love a girl that rides dragons.
Girl that can ride, you know. And then so she goes to, so it's basically based around this college, this war college, and you have to go into the war college to the infantry, to the scribe, to the healer quadrant, or the rider's quadrant, where you ride dragons, and you have to pick. And in the rider's quadrant, you literally are risking your life, like dying, like the entire time that you're there. Basically, like it's kind of like kind of has a Hunger Games feel to it.
Yeah.
Too. It's like you're basically battling each other, but also battling like the obstacles that lay in front of you, the quests and like all these things, just to make it and graduate, and then also then fight this war that's happening past the college, past the wards of magic, right?
Yeah.
There's magic. There's great. It's okay. So it's
Harry
so
Potter.
good.
It's
Hunger
Lord
Games,
of the Rings. It's Hunger
Lord of the
Games.
Rings. Like I'm telling you,
all in one book.
it's so good. Oh my God. It's so good. So basically, like comes into this college, and she's seen as weak, and like she was training for the scribe quadrant, but then when her dad died, her mom was like, no, you need to go into the rider's quadrant. This is not a spoiler. Her mom is the general of the army, like the president of the college. She's a baller. And she's like, no, you're going to be a rider like me. And she's like this frail, like short girl, right?
Yeah.
And so basically, like the first book is her just navigating, like trying not to die, trying to make it to bond with a dragon, so that the dragon can give, so that she can channel power through the dragon and get a gift from the dragon of what power that she's, what signet she's going to.
Somewhat like Aragon.
If you say so. I have not read that book.
Yeah,
but
the dragons basically give them powers through their bond.
Exactly. Yeah. It's literally that's the same thing. Yeah. So basically these books like go through there's crazy twists and turns of politics. There's crazy twists and turns of just like the story in general of you're basically watching her unfold all this built up, like buried history, changed history, part of a war that no one knows about, like all these like cool, like
this is fun. This is God. Yeah.
It's so fucking good. You need
romantasy.
Yes. Gets a little spicy at some point.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I've heard some spicy written terms. It's like
hey, also
sometimes I'm like, just like I'm like you really wrote this down? Like,
oh
yikes.
Yeah. No, it's
like
not. It's
Game
not
of Thrones.
Okay. If you like Game of Thrones too, like you know.
Are they going to turn it into a movie series or a book series, TV series, or whatever?
TV series, and I think that maybe I don't know if it's a movie. I think it's TV series, but yeah. So there's 5 books planned.
HBO, hopefully.
I don't know. I don't know.
HBO does it right,
but yeah,
HBO does it right. You don't want Netflix doing it.
No. Well, we shall see if HBO does this new Harry Potter series right.
They probably won't.
I know. I'm trying.
Harry Potter, the movie series, is just fine as it is.
How do you replace fucking Emma Watson, Daniel Radcliffe?
You can't.
How do you replace Alan Rickman as Severus Snape?
You can't.
You can't.
Well, you may be able to. I think what's his name from Star Wars? Adam? Is that his name?
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. He
he could.
Like
Are you kidding me? Yes,
from
absolutely.
Like Kylo Ren looks literally like
the way he walks, like.
Absolutely.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
And then also, like, Remus Lupin could be, Andrew Garfield. Come on.
This is true. I just, the way that
Barnes.
the cast lined up.
So many people.
The way the cast lined up was just.
I am not happy about it.
Yeah. It'll be its good own adaptation. And I hope that it's so pinpoint to the books and scratches the itch of all the people that are like book readers and book goers to where it is in the exact copy of the book.
Well, I think that's the point. I think
if they don't do that, it's not going to be successful.
Well, it will plummet because you need this crazy fan base of Harry Potter to like this series, or else no one's going to watch it.
You also need clippers to like it.
Yes.
Because clippers are the reason that you're like, they need to connect this and this together with the audio, video, and the book, and they will make you blow up. Like if you read script for script, line for line, the exact script of the book in the TV show, clippers will literally grab that, highlight the words on the book, and show the video and give you millions of views.
Yeah, I mean, it's
millions.
That clickbait.
And then people will be like, wait, they actually did it to the exact book? Like by the word,
and then they'll watch it,
and then they'll be like, I actually need to watch this,
literally. And like there's like some good vibes because they're like, oh, it's gonna be a 7 season, 1 season for each book, and I think they said they have like 8 hours for the first book alone. So they're purposely gonna make it like nitty gritty down to the detail, especially they need to do that for the last couple books because the amount of stuff that was left out is insane. It's insane. Like
the last book,
the last like 3, like 2, at least Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows is so much is left out. It's actually quite insane. But I don't know.
That'll be good for the Harry Potter watchers that only watch the movies.
Yeah. Well, because if you only watch the movies, you don't get the same connections like you do in the books of like, I'd be surprised if you haven't read Harry Potter, but the whole Severus Snape arc, like a lot of that is muffled in the movies, and it's like burning on the page in the last like 2 books, and like really has like crazy connections, and like you don't really see that until I think it's like part 2.
Yeah, like the connections to Harry's mom.
Yeah. And it's they did it beautifully in the movies.
They did.
Don't get me wrong. I love
the
them.
memory when he passed away and. Yeah.
Oh my God.
The Patronus
like,
charm.
Take them. Oh my God, the tears.
The tears. The literal tears from you crying in the movie theater and him.
I still cry. I still bawl.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
you can't not. Like he's dying, asking Harry to take his dying tears, filled with memory of everything that he's been holding against his will because of Dumbledore, had to reveal at the most opportune moment.
To slaughter Harry Potter.
Raising a pig to slaughter is what Snape said, and true.
Crazy. But you know what isn't true? He wasn't actually raising a pig for slaughter.
This is true.
He was raising Voldemort's
Horcrux.
8th Horcrux.
Yeah.
For slaughter.
True was. I mean.
Big brain. He knew. The craziest part is that Dumbledore knew the whole time.
Oh,
he knew the whole time. That's
okay.
The craziest part. And he literally played his part and died for this plot.
I mean, he literally laid out the plot to his own death. Like
wild.
What? Wild. And then
he plotted himself to be killed.
Plotted himself to death. Like, and the delivery impeccable. Like he literally made like his acting as a character is just like insane. But it's just like that amount of like foresight is just
from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Literally from like him going to grab Harry to make him become a wizard. Wild.
Like purposely leaving him out of the like magical worlds, like all of that. Like it literally amazing. He didn't want Harry to end up like a Lucius Malfoy, like taking everything for granted. Like he wanted him sad and alone and craving an adventure, craving family, craving knowledge, craving any speck of anything that's gonna make him feel less alone in life. And that's why a lot of people like Harry Potter. I may say so myself.
It's a fire plot, not gonna lie.
I mean, it's legendary.
It is.
It's pretty legendary.
But very similar to Star Wars. I'm just kidding.
I mean, there are. I'm not saying it's not. It's just there are similarities. No, of course.
I'm kidding.
Of course.
It's anyone can find similarities in great movies like that.
Oh, absolutely.
The funniest similarities one for Star Wars though is the fact that A New Hope is the exact same thing as like the First Order movie.
Yeah.
Oh, dangerous villain shows up. Oh, young rebellious person discovers their new magical powers.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a giant Death Star that kills planets. Let's go destroy it.
It's
literally the exact same thing.
It's the same thing. Are you a prequel favored person, or are you a trilogy favored person?
I love all of them.
Do you like all of
I
them?
even like the new movies too, but I don't like the fact that they brought back Palpatine.
I thought
that was stupid.
I
thought it was kind of dumb. I was like, I don't get it.
I don't get it. She could still be related to him, but he didn't need to come back.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole purpose for Anakin, to slay him, to redeem his human part, to redeem him as Anakin, so he would die as a Jedi, not as Darth Vader.
Well, he was redeemed through his son. Right. That was the whole
That was the whole
story,
point.
Yeah.
And him bringing it back, it's like he died for nothing.
Technically, he still was redeemed. But still, stupid.
But still.
Yeah.
It bit hard.
And then you like revive Palpatine's daughter. Like, it didn't make much sense to me. Although there was bits and pieces that were so good in those movies.
Oh, so
like
good.
Poe Dameron is just that character's so well written. The character died for me when he was like trying to rebel, and he's like, "We don't need to rebel. We need to stay alive." I was like, "Nah, bro, go fight him.
Go rebel.
Go do some flying stuff."
Yeah, no, that was great.
Go fighter pilot him. That fighter pilot scene where he like flying around and like hits and like flies across, and then it goes to like the stormtrooper. What's his name? They wrote his character so poorly.
What was his?
GC 77559 or whatever it was.
But I don't remember what he actually said his name, like what he like named himself or whatever.
Yeah, I remember.
But yeah, I also like appreciated them writing out like Harrison Ford and like because like that it completed it. Like I liked how they completed that, and it was like a new generation like starting the fight, and like you know, like I really enjoyed that, and I think it was definitely a choice, but I thought it was a good choice. I thought that was good, having like Kylo Ren like literally like
become the bad guy,
basically take that same path that Darth Vader had, and that's the whole point. That's literally the whole point, is like this
I thought that was
theme
good
of the chosen one.
I thought the part that was bad, just the Palpatine stuff, bro. Well, the reason it was just all it was directors backfiring each other. Like they were like, "Nah, you're an idiot. I'm gonna shoot your back and put this in the movie because you did it wrong." Yeah, it was dumb.
That was dumb.
But no, Poe was my favorite, and now he's like Moon Knight, and he's this, and he's that.
Yeah,
and he's everything.
It got him some momentum. I love it.
Because he did such a great job.
Yeah.
But overall, prequels very good. Main story very good. I like even Clone Wars. Clone Wars was great too. I don't know if you watched that show.
I haven't. The only show I've watched so far is I watched Obi-Wan, and that was
that was the worst one of them all.
I loved it.
To be honest,
I loved it. But that was
the worst one.
I lean towards the prequels personally.
Mandalorian though, unreal.
I haven't watched yet. Unreal. Let me clarify. I've watched quite a few episodes when Miles was watching it. Like
it's really good.
But like I haven't watched the whole thing.
Man, that show was better than Obi-Wan's show.
Yeah.
So good. And
I probably just liked Obi-Wan because it brought back, Hayden Christensen, which, I mean.
Yeah, it did.
Come on. The king.
The
king that should have had a throne years ago, but finally is getting the recognition that he deserves.
That to me was mind-blowing. That was my first time understanding what's the difference between an audience score and a critic score.
Yep.
Was the audience of the kids that loved him so much.
Yeah.
All those kids, like me, growing up, I was like, dude, this guy is dope. God, these prequels are so sick.
They're so
and then they got so much hate for it.
He got so much hate for it.
So much hate. Like, and then they were almost like super sad about it. And then I was like,
he left Hollywood.
Yeah.
He went to Canada on his farm, and he was like,
he was gone. Dude, and then the generation that loved him was raised, grew up, and then everyone was
pouring their love out for him.
Everyone was like, "Dude, you are my childhood.
You need to come back to this franchise, like literally.
Save this franchise because we only want you.
Literally, this
is where the fun begins. It's so good.
It stops my heart every time. But no, when they brought him out at I don't know if it was Star Wars Con, or it was or the premiere of Obi-Wan or whatever it was. And he was brought out for that interview, and he got that standing ovation, and he started crying because it was he's finally getting. And I cried. I watched that interview and I cried because I was like, if you if you watch back, if you truly understand like what he's portraying, like that inner battle, that like depression, that anxiety, that like almost dual personality coming and manifesting.
Yeah.
His acting is awesome. Like the way that he portrays it, like no one could have portrayed it better than he did. And this is also my personal opinion, but also
you gotta watch Clone Wars.
Oh my God, it's so good. Like I see.
There's so much that adds to the story, similar to what Harry Potter books did to the movies of Harry Potter. That's in the TV show, The Clone Wars.
Okay, I have to watch it.
Like they tie all of Anakin's slight behaviors towards getting to the dark side
even more.
Yeah, to full in depth. Even the battle of I forget what they're called, the Sentinels maybe, I forget what it's called. There's basically like a person that shows like which side you're on. They do like a test of like what to save. So like they do like a battle of two spirits, and then you have to decide what to do. Yeah. So that decision depends on like what type of person you're going to be and like what side of the force you're on.
Well, if the shoe fits, seriously.
You'd be surprised at what happens.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. You'd be surprised. It's really good.
I'll have to watch.
I'm not going to spoil it. You're going to find out.
I'll have to watch.
It's
I will watch too, cause
I mean,
come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After those night shifts, got to stay up and
yeah. Like let me tell you, I don't like after my night shift of the week or like a stretch of days, I don't like sleeping that day. I like stay up and then I sleep at night because like I flip back.
Yeah.
But sometimes if I am not reading, so I'm currently reading the ACOTAR series. So like my time is
Dragon Ladies, gotta love them.
Not Dragon Ladies in ACOTAR.
Oh,
fairies.
Gotcha. My bad.
But
I'm so uneducated.
It's more the fairy men that are great in that book.
Hey.
All right.
Get Grace a fairy man in their life. Come on.
And riding a dragon.
Yep.
Life made.
Pull up.
Life made.
Requirements. Throw it on her dating profile. Need to have dragon and be a fairy.
Need to have dragon and have fairy powers, and
that's it.
That's it. And treat a woman right.
And
it's pretty simple.
Above 6 feet tall, please.
Yes.
6 feet, dragon, fairy, man. Those are my.
Hey, for my tall girls, those I get it. When you're 5'11", man.
She's 5'11". This is true. So the requirement makes sense to me.
Yeah, no. I mean,
if you're like 5'1",
well,
you can settle with a 5'5" guy.
This is okay. This is my thing about. So Jack, okay, all right. This is
no,
my thing.
Not Jack. No, okay. Don't throw him under the bus.
My short king. Okay, so this is the
You're
thing.
Tall Jack. You're a king.
Okay, this is the thing. This is the thing about tall women, is at least from my experience. I won't speak for other tall women, but from my experience. When your height is something constantly pointed out, mentioned, degraded by, like, oh, you're so tall, like, how are you going to find someone? Or
D1
like
babies.
You know what I mean?
What you mean?
D1 babies. Okay, like, seriously.
What's the debate?
This is what I'm saying, okay? No, but like literally, I sat there and I'm like, my whole life like made fun of for the height, which is like fine. I'm also the tallest of all four of us. Your like siblings, I'm the tallest and I'm the youngest. So like, yeah, I was going to get fucking hate for it because my siblings would never let it go. Mm-hmm. Also, Miles still insists that he's taller than me. With your boots on. Yes, you are. But Jack being shorter than me, and like there was a time that we were like the same. People thought we were twins when we were younger because we were the same height, but it was actually no, I was just tall. Yeah. But he gives me so much shit for like being like, yeah, I have a height requirement, and it's not like 6'5" or bust. Like no, like my height. I just want to be
the same height.
I just want to feel like a girl. Like like. I don't want someone going uppies. Like no, like this is not,
uppies. No.
This is not happening. Okay, I had someone on Hinge once message me and said uppies with a winky face, and I was like, sir, immediately no. Screenshot for being funny, but immediately no. Like, oh my god. No, but like so that's the thing. Like I want to feel confident with my height.
Uppies is crazy.
And I want to be able to wear heels and not feel self-conscious that like and worried about the man's insecurity because I'm tall and I should rock it. So that is why I have a height requirement personally for me. And it's not like
I think that's fair. Like right? I think if your requirement is the same height or a little bit taller,
and I'd go for 5'9" too. I'd go I'd go for like 5'10", like an inch short. I mean, like that's fine. Like I'm no offense. I'm not gonna date someone who's 5'6".
Yeah.
Personally, for me, like it just.
It's preference.
It's a preference, but it's also like for my own insecurity as well.
I get that though.
So like, why do I not?
And you're like, they need to be 6 foot or taller. It's like,
come on, you're 5'1". Like
we know
you're gonna say uppies because you're not gonna be able to reach the shelf that he can. Okay, I don't know, but like it's just,
uppies is a wild. That's a wild thing,
dude. What like? Props to this man wherever he is for the
that's wild
gall and audacity to just be like uppies like as a pickup line. I hope you find your tall queen that you want. Honestly, I hope.
Have you seen the Paige Bakir memes?
No.
There's a lot of uppies in there. It's all on Twitter. It's like
it's the hand little.
All it is like it's a little kid like putting his hands up like reaching for like
seriously
a super tower like it's That's all the Instagram things I see of her.
And it's more of like
it's funny though.
Also
it is funny.
It is funny. And
but she's also like 6'2", 6'1".
Right. So it's like also
maybe she's even taller. I don't know.
Who knows? But it's also for like my insecurity as well. I don't want to exude my insecurity on you as well. Yeah. Like that's not good for a healthy relationship. Yeah. And like I own that and I'm like this is not like
uppies is just crazy though. That's wild.
I know, right?
Like
dude, you'd be surprised at the things that are said to try and pick up people.
I've seen some Barstool and some
I'll send you some screenshots.
Yeah. I need to see these because these are I would probably sit there and laugh the whole time because some of them are so outrageous where it's like
you can't like sometimes it literally makes me snort laugh out loud like uncontrollably because I'm like oh my god, one, this is funny that you even said that like out loud.
Thought
like,
that in your head. And you were like, I'm gonna send it to
in
this
your head,
specific person
and I'm gonna send it to somebody,
type it out,
and use it as a pickup line.
It's pretty funny
on a dating app. I mean,
pretty funny. It's pretty good.
Hey, keep doing you. You'll like. There's someone for everyone out there. So you know what? You keep doing you, and one day you're gonna send uppies, sir, and she's gonna
find your tall queen,
and you're gonna find your tall queen,
and she's gonna
be great.
She's gonna love you from the moment you say uppies.
Absolutely, it's gonna be love at first sight. You know, the little hard eyes are gonna protrude
out, and then she's
and it's just gonna be match made in heaven. You know,
that's it.
That's it. That's all. All you would have to say is uppies and
uppies and
mated.
Love.
Soulmates.
We are matchmakers here.
Soulmates.
Jacob Koutas show now.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you find a girl on Hinge that's taller than you, definitely say uppies.
Please do for an experiment.
And screenshot it and
send it to us so that we can see your gall and your balls
and the replies from the girls.
But that takes fucking balls.
What if you're like a 5'1" man though, and you say it to every single girl that's on there?
Hey, you gotta try it on all until you find the one.
You set your settings to like 5'8" and above only, like you. And
you literally just copy and paste.
You're like a machine. Uppies, winky face, winky face. That would
oh my God.
That'd be rough,
dude. Could you imagine?
I can actually. I can in this crazy world. Yeah, I can.
Dude,
they'd probably have an AI bot to do that. So.
It's wild out there. I mean, kissing a lot of frogs. Kissing a lot of frogs.
Stay safe, guys. Yeah. Stay safe out there in the dating apps.
Safe. As Lisa says, you got to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince. And I said, Lisa, I don't know if there's many princes out there in the world by how many frogs are.
Not a lot of frogs.
God. Not the
half frogs. We don't know.
Who knows?
Ugly frogs, tall frogs.
Frogs saying uppies. I don't know.
That's I just can't get over that comment. Find your king or queen out there. Fairies, dragon riders, and 6
wizards.
Wizards.
6 foot, some or whatever height.
Surprisingly, nowadays you probably could find that actually, which is.
I'd be so down.
This is awesome.
I'd be so down. I mean, it'd be an adventure in itself. And if it doesn't work out, hey, I could be like, I dated a wizard, man. I dated a dragon rider. I mean,
and
like,
then you could show
come
pictures
on.
and be like, "This is him," and it's like him like doing like LARP or something, or like
him with like the full Gandalf like
cosplay.
white beard cosplay, and I'd be like,
"This was at
that's
Comic-Con last
sexy.
year. This my man.
That's my man.
That's my man.
Sexy." Yeah,
And he
no.
says uppies. He says uppies.
No, that'd be a Hobbit cosplay.
Hobbit cosplay.
Oh
man.
no.
All right. Well, Grace, this was an absolute
Oh
phenomenal
my
time.
god.
Thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated. Thank you for your
Great
stories. And I can't stop laughing now, so it's gonna be fun.
Oh my god, yeah.
Thank you for coming on. Much
Yeah.
appreciated.
It's been fun.
We'll get you on. If anyone wants to ask her questions about her crazy years in COVID, or if she's going to be hitting up anybody with uppies,
Yeah,
or if you have any
let me
crazy
know.
wild dating stories out there, please
Yeah,
send us screenshots. I love seeing that stuff. It makes me laugh every time.
we'll go through them.
We'll go through them.
Yeah.
We'll have another show
We'll have another show just to go
just
through.
for them if we get screenshots.
Yeah, screenshots, weird stories that people have shared,
Yes.
questions about said stories that people may think I have now that I've talked about finding a Gandalf. So
Yes. And Gandalf, if you're out there
yeah,
and you're 6 foot or above,
you know,
and you ride dragons, and
you ride dragons, and you're a fairy, and you know, all the above.
Well, we have the lady for you.
'Tis I.
Appreciate it. Awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, buddy.
Woo.
Woo.